Here is a satellite picture of the filed coast from the year 2000. And here we can see the same area again in 2007 with quadrilla's sites at Grange Road, Prees Hall, Preston New Road and Anna's Road all marked on the map. The red line you can see on this map represents a superficial fault line which can be found 20 to 30 metres below the superficial deposits at the surface. It has been pointed out by Quadrilla in some of their core documents as well as several professors. You can trace this fault line as a low-lying area on a topographical map that runs from north to south. So, considering we have Preston New Road in the title, why are we talking about Prees Hall? In 2011, Quadrilla came to Lancashire and drilled a well at Prees Hall. During the operations there, they caused 50-something, depending on who you talk to, minor earth tremors very close to the well. They also managed to induce a magnitude 2.3 earthquake, which could be felt allegedly as far away as Manchester. A report was commissioned into the cause of this, and the findings from that report were that the majority of the seismic events were caused when the well was shut in. That means after they've put the chemicals down into the well under pressure, they then hold them down there and give the sand a chance to prop open the cracks and a chance for the cracks to grow so that they can get longer cracks and therefore more gas. During this shut-in period, some of the water, they have said, found its way to the fault line, caused lubrication of the fault line, and therefore caused the earthquake. We have spoken to local residents who have actually had their properties damaged by the earthquake. Despite the fact the earthquake actually damaged the well, Quadrilla decided they were going to continue operation. And that's not all that happened. As we looked through 2011 satellite imagery of the area, we can see odd occurrences such as this deep red seen above where the small earth tremors were recorded during the time Quadrilla were in operation. This continues downhill as we continue southwest along the fault line. A pattern can be seen crossing a dike, under a road, and continuing to this area here. This field is just meters above the water table. There is a pattern in the way the land has opened up and the water is flowing in this area. This field used to be stable farmland, and while it has experienced water issues in the past, with it being the lowest point in the vicinity, it is only after the earthquake in 2011 when we see real issues appear. The deep colour sediment can still be seen in the soil, though not as red, crossing under the motorway and through this area. Professor Smythe puts the fault 20 to 30 metres below the surface and anywhere up to 100 metres from the red line on either side. At the end of the fault line, we come to Anna's Road, where Quadrilla drilled in 2012. Only in 2011 do we see these swirly lines of dark sediment appear in the landscape, revealing superficial deposit structures. These red lines represent the pattern of subsurface water flow you can see appear in 2011. This pattern exactly fits the low-lying topology of the moss, and it's a clear pattern of water dispersal that can be seen at the end of the superficial fault line. So we're going back to Prees Hall now, and in 2011 it was very red. In 2012 there was a purple sediment throughout the field. In 2015 the field looked pretty normal, but the surrounding areas had some issues, and in 2017 it looked dry. That was in July. This is September, and as you can see it's nothing but dry anymore. And here we are again in May 2018, and as you can see the area has deteriorated and we have what looks like apparitions that we have seen elsewhere appearing where the pad used to be. Now I'd like to draw your attention to this dark area here. In 2000 it's just water, part of a field. 2002 you can see it's still fallow. In 2007 the field has been successfully ploughed. However, in 2011 this dark, deep area appears on the surface. By 2012 the area has now spread and has become green. In 2015 the green goes and it's just a body of water. And in 2017 the area has been contained, it's still fallow. And here we are in March 2018, you can see the area is no longer contained, and very close by it would appear that new damage is appearing on the land. Priesel was not the only place to experience damage on the land after the earthquake in 2011. This area here is called Hardhorn. Between 2011 and 2012, some strange things happened to the land. For example, this spring. Here we can see it in the earlier years, looking like a very pristine field. It's only in 2012, a year later after the earthquake, where we see this spring appear. By the year 2017, it has gone again. The area around Hardhorn is quite interesting, but it's not the only place in the area that has suffered issues. As we look around, in 2012, other areas are displaying the same blue water with iridescence in it. These signs often appearing around cracks and fissures which were not present before 2011. And are also found in various water bodies around the Fylde coast. Pay close attention because we will be taking a closer look at these areas soon. While on their own not conclusive of anything in particular, this is a sign that something has happened to the land in this area. The red staining that could be seen in 2011 near Priesel can now be seen further downhill. Along with other phenomena which point to me that there may be a fault line running through the area.